Hello everyone. In this part, we will integrate virtual reality to our project using MetaQuest 2 headset. Let's check our final result that we want to achieve by the end of this video. When we do a quick test, we will have a new VR button on our widget. When we click on the VR button, it will activate the VR headset. We can do VR interactions like teleportation and rotation using our touch controllers. We also have a 3D widget with a button that can bring us back to the walk mode, where we can use our mouse to control the player and the widget. So let's begin to activate the VR system. Go back to the editor. Under configurator folder, under blueprint folder, open BP Mine widget. Select the fade in animation. Move the slider to show the widget. We will add a new VR button at the right side of the camera button. To do that, select the size box of the camera button, right click on it and select duplicate. Next, we need to duplicate the spacer and move it at the top of the new button. Next, select the vertical box of the mode section. On the detail panel, change the size to 0.45. Next, select the vertical box of the HUD section. On the detail panel, change the size to 0.32. Let's do the same thing for the vertical box of the option section. Next, we want to change the button texture. Select the new VR button. On the detail panel, expand the normal, hovered, and press section. Click on this search button to find the location of the texture. I have prepared two textures for the VR button. Let's minimize the window. Select the texture, drag and drop it to the Unreal editor. Open the normal texture first. MIP gain setting, change to simple average. Texture group, change to UI. Compression settings, change to user interface. After done, click Save. Next, we will do the same thing for the hovered texture. Next, we will change this camera texture to VR texture. Select the normal VR texture. Then click on the left arrow button to apply the texture. Let's do the same thing for the hovered and press texture. When done, press compile and save. Next, we will add a simple print string to check the input button. From this node, drag and look for print string. Let's change the text display to VR. Compile it and let's do a quick test. The VR button is now visible, and when we press it, it will show VR text. Next step is we want to display text information when we hover over the VR button, like we did for the other button before. Go back to BP Main widget. Open Designer menu. Select the fade in and move the slider to show the widget. Select the widget switcher. Let's collapse this horizontal box component. We have 10 lists of horizontal box started by ID 0 and end ID is 9. Select the last one. Right click on it and select duplicate. Rename it to VR. Then expand it and adjust the text information. For this orange text, I will put VR. And for the detail info, you can write any info you want. Next, select the VR button on the detail panels. Scroll down to find the event section. Let's add on hovered event. Also on unhovered event. Next, let's move these two buttons on the top area. Select these three nodes and paste them at the right side. Change the index ID to 10 and connect the input from hovered and unhovered events. Press compile and save it. Let's do a quick test. It is working as expected. The VR text info will be visible if we hover the VR button. Next, we will add VR content files. On the content browser, click on the Press Add button on the left. Then select Add Content Pack. And select Virtual Reality Template and click on Add to Project. When done, click the Enable Missing and we need to restart our editor. Next, open the VR template folder. Inside Blueprint folder, find VR Pound. Drag and drop the VR Pound into 3D environment to make sure we place the pound correctly. Select it and move it up by holding left mouse and move it based on Z-axis, and at the same time press NK from our keyboard. Next, we want to add nav mesh bone volume and change the view to top view. Then resize the nav mesh to cover our entire 3D environment. Next, change the view to front and move the nav mesh on the floor. Go back to perspective view. When we press PK from our keyboard, it will display green area which represents our teleportation area. Next, select the VR Pound and open detail panels. Make sure Auto Pose Player is set to disable. Also, for the Walk Pound, we need to check from the content folder. Open the BP first person character. Make sure to select the parent and from the detail panel, look for poses and make sure Auto Poses is set to player 0. After done, open BP Mine widget. We will now activate the VR system when we press the VR button. From the input click button, drag the wire and look for Get All Actor of Class. From the Actor of Class, we will target the VR Pound. Find the VR Pound on the content browser. Click the arrow left button to apply the selection. From Out of Actor, look for Get Copy. and then look for process node. From the target, look for get player controller and make sure it is under player category. Then connect the input. From process output, look for remove all widget because we don't want the 2D widget visible during virtual reality simulation. And from the remove widget, look for set game pause, and we don't want to pause the game, so leave it unticked. Then from the set game pause, look for enable HMD. This is important to follow and make sure we enable it. Next, open the VR Pound blueprint. Then look for the event begin play section. It is usually at the top area. Select this input node and copy it and go back to BP Mine widget. Paste the nodes next to enable HMD and connect the input. Next, we will add sequence node to divide the input. And copy these two nodes and paste them underneath. We want now to add visibility to the root of the VR Pound, including its 3D menu. Back to BP Mine widget. From get output, look for set visibility under rendering. Make sure to enable propagate to children is enabled, as well as new visibility. Next, still from the get node, look for get menu reference. Copy and paste the set visibility node above. From menu reference, connect it to target set visibility and also connect the output from the above node. Press compile and save after done. Next, we want to add a new button inside the VR 3D widget, which we can use to switch back to normal work mode. To do this, open the widget menu from the blueprint folder. We will duplicate this exit button. Then change the text info inside the button to work mode. Select the button and navigate it down from the detail panel to find the click event. To activate this button, we will use the node we have created from the top Pound widget to return back to work mode when we press the work button. Open the BP top Pound, then show the widget. Select the work button and navigate down to find the click event. Select this node system, right-click and select copy. Go back to widget menu and paste the node next to the next click button event. Connect the input to get all actors of class. Next, we will adjust the node by adding enable HMD node after process node. And make sure it is unchecked because we want to disable the HMD when we press the work mode. Next, we also need to add visibility to VR Pound and its 3D menu from this node. So when we leave the VR mode, we will not see the VR Pound and its 3D widget inside 3D environments. To do this, open the BPMine widget and copy this node system. Then open the widget menu and paste the node and connect the input. And make sure the new visibility is unchecked for both nodes. Press compile and save it. Next, we need to package our project before we do testing using our VR headset. From the platform menu, select packaging settings. On the maps and modes, leave it default. Move to packaging menu, uncheck the use to store. Expand the advanced menu, enable the cook only maps, and enable exclude editor content. From list of map to include, we need to target our current map location. On the supporting platform, enable only Windows. Scroll it down and find Windows platform. Make sure to select the latest Visual Studio as the compiler version. After we're done, we can start packaging. Because my current Unreal 5.1 is not able to perform Windows packaging, so I decided to switch it to Unreal 5.3. I will close the editor first. Next, right-click the Unreal project file, then select Switch Unreal version. From the drop-down, select Unreal 5.3. Double-click on it to open. Now we are ready to package the game. Click on the Platforms menu and select Windows and select Package Project. Select the location package that you want and press Select Folder. Wait for a few minutes until packaging is done. Next, I will close the editor and open the packaging location. Run the Oculus software for Windows. Also run the Meta Developer SUB so we can see how our VR running. I will activate the Quest link now. And let's run the game executable. The game will start in work mode. When we press Tab key, our widget menu will visible. And if we click the VR button, it will enable the VR mode. As you can see, we got our hands. And we can do teleportation using our right controller. If we press Y button from our left controller, the 3D menu will be visible. If we select and press the work mode, we will return back to work mode. I hope this tutorial will help you to switch between work mode and VR mode using button press from the widget. Don't forget to support my channel. See you in the next tutorial.